Hello, Rama Pupodu. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and peaceful life. Now let's continue with devotee Kunjuswamy. The day in Kanda Ashramam used to begin at 4 in the morning. Bhagavan's mother would get up and sing devotional songs. At 5, Bhagavan would come out and all devotees would sing Akshara Ramana Malai. Either Samatata would cook or Echamal would bring food. At 8, everybody would eat. The rest of the time was spent meditating, reading Ribugita or the Kaivalya Navanidam. Bhagavan would remain mostly in silence. Kunjuswamy has told me some interesting facts about Bhagavan. According to him, Bhagavan never lay flat or on his side. He always reclined. Bhagavan was also very frugal. Tooth powder was made every day and put into a packet for Bhagavan and given to him in the morning. If Bhagavan found that there was a little more than he needed, he would put it back in the same packet and expect it to be given to him the next day. Kunjuswamy said the Bhagavan's frugality continued even while bathing. Bhagavan used to take a little oil, put in his palm, add hot water to make a paste of it, and then rub it all over his body. Since he could not reach his back, Kunjuswamy would oil it for him. At Kanda Ashramam, there is a little platform facing Tiruvannamalai town. There was only a stone at that time. Bhagavan would sit on it and brush his teeth. It used to be very cold, and Bhagavan wore only a loin cloth. Kunjuswamy felt that he should not sit there in the early morning cold, yet Bhagavan continued to do so. He found the reason for this only later. There was a lady called Saubhagyamma who used to come to Kanda Ashramam every day. She had become old but had taken a vow that she would not cook, eat or even bathe without having Bhagavan's darshan first. She did not come one day and Bhagavan asked her, "Why did you not come yesterday?" She replied, "Bhagavan, I had the great fortune of having your darshan from my house. When you were seated outside on the stone slab, I could see you. From that day onwards, whether it was raining or cold, Bhagavan sat on that rock so that Saubhagyamma could have his darshan, daily darshan. Every single day was a holy day at Kanda Ashramam. Bhagavan introduced Kunjuswamy to Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni. Kunjuswamy actually witnessed Kavyakanta's Kapala Beda. A hot vapor emanated from Kavyakanta's head and he placed Kunjuswamy's hand there. He found it very hot. Kavyakanta, in order to alleviate the discomfiture caused by this intense heat, took Bhagavan's hand and placed it on his head. This made him feel the coolness, thus relieving him of the pain and discomfort. Later, in reference to this incident, Bhagavan told Kunjuswamy, "He has told us about this experience, but who could I have told?" Then someone asked, "Bhagavan, did you also have this experience?" Bhagavan just grunted, neither accepting nor denying the fact. Nayana described Bhagavan's spiritual status to Kunjuswamy as being that of a Sahaja Nishtha. He explained that according to the scriptures, all spiritual seekers eventually grew from either power or peace. Many sages like Meera, Adi Shankara, and Swami Vivekananda developed power and, not able to contain themselves, ecstatically expressed it through their songs and speeches. Bhagavan, on the other hand, was one who was rooted in peace and refused to move even a little from Arunachala. And that is the mark of Sahaja Nishtha, to remain as one is. That is why K.K. Nambiar, an old devotee, called Bhagavan Malayai Muhungi, one who has swallowed a mountain. During this time, there lived a sage in Kerala called Narayana Guru, who was so renowned that even Mahatma Gandhi thought it a privilege to spend a few moments with him. This sage rarely went anywhere. In fact, other saints came up to him to pay their respects. Yet he visited Bhagavan at Kanda Ashramam along with his disciples. Bhagavan spoke in Malayalam, cordially received him, and invited him to share lunch. Narayana Guru replied gladly in Tamil, "Oh, yes, we will share the Maharishi's prasad." Bhagavan then bestowed his glance of grace, and for a long time they both sat sharing an ecstatic silence. When it was time for him to leave, Narayana Guru, looking at Bhagavan's state of Sahaja Samadhi, said in Malayalam, "Let it be so." This statement was interpreted as a prayer for Sahaja Nishta, but according to Narayana Guru's devotee and his works, he was already in that state. Right there, Narayana Guru wrote 5 verses in Sanskrit called Nivritti Panchakam, extolling the state of the Sahaja Nishta. When descending the hill along with his disciples, Narayana Guru was in ecstasy. He turned to his disciples and declared joyfully, "The Maharishi is a Raja Sarpam, a king cobra. In the Hindu religious and spiritual parlance, saints are often referred to as Sarpams or cobras." Narayana Guru, a saint himself, did not categorize Bhagavan as yet another cobra. Instead, he gave Bhagavan the exalted status of a king cobra. This truth emanated from his heart. He summoned 2 of his disciples, one a wealthy man, the other an erudite scholar, and said these beautiful words. Maharishi's spiritual state is such that even a single glance from him is enough to liberate anyone. Now he remains unknown to the world, like a lamp hidden in a pot. He should be recognized so that this spiritual treasure is plundered by many seekers. Both of you should stay here for 6 months and make necessary arrangements for food and accommodation for visiting pilgrims, thus letting many visit the Maharishi every day and benefit spiritually. Allow Maharishi's awakening to be known in the circles of scholars and earnest seekers by going to them and speaking about the awakening. So captivated with Bhagavan was he that when he went back to Kerala, he wrote another 5 verses called Municharya Panchakam. On his return, Narayana Guru fell ill. Coming to know of it, Bhagavan sent kunjuswamy with a lemon, saying, "Go and give this to him." Narayana Guru received it and reverentially put it on his eyes, head and chest. He was in tears that Bhagavan had sent this prasad for him. Whenever he had a visitor from Tamil Nadu, he would ask, "Have you had Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi's darshan?" If the answer was no, he would raise his voice and say, "Why did you come here? You must go back and have darshan there." Knowing that Narayana Guru was to attain Mahasamadhi, Bhagavan also instructed Kunjuswamy about how Narayana Guru's body should be preserved. Narayana Guru was a jnani, a realized saint, and Bhagavan wanted his tomb to be built accordingly. Kunjuswamy was to give Bhagavan a report on whether the tomb was built satisfactorily. Later, when the news of Narayana Guru's passing away reached Bhagavan, he said, "Narayana Guru is Purna Purusha, a fully blossomed one." Kunjuswamy said that Bhagavan was very natural and spontaneous with him. Many a time Bhagavan would go into samadhi from which it was very difficult to bring him out. When this happened, 3 or 4 people would blow conches in Bhagavan's ears until after a long time Bhagavan emerged from his samadhi. This practice continued until some time after Bhagavan moved to Ramana Ashramam. The scriptures state that there are 2 means of influencing the mind, by blowing a conch and by ringing a bell. The conch brings out the subdued mind. This can even be tried on people with insanity to bring their minds back to a state of normalcy. The ringing of a bell turns the mind inwards. This is why temples and churches have bells. It is not merely a ritual but a method to calm and turn the mind inwards. When Bhagavan's mother passed away, Kunjuswamy, along with the others, brought the body down to the present Ramana ashramam, where mother's body was buried. A thatched shed was erected, and Bhagavan's brother Niranja Ananda Swami and Dandapani Swami stayed there. Sometimes they would get together ingredients for dosas and send word to Kunjuswamy to stay over and eat dosas with them the next morning. Such fresh preparations were considered a luxury in Kanda ashramam. They would send some for Bhagavan as well. Kunjuswamy would wake up early, join them, and begin to wash the vessels. One day, a person wrapped in a cloth stood behind him and asked, "Is there any food for a guest?" Kunjuswamy turned around and saw that it was none other than Bhagavan joking with him. Kunjuswamy replied respectfully, "Bhagavan, you have come at the right time. We are making dosas. Please stay here." There was another lady who began a daily routine only after Bhagavan's darshan. When she came to know that Bhagavan had come to the present Ramana ashramam, which was only a thatched shed at that time, she insisted, "Stay here. I want to cook for you and feed you." Bhagavan complied. The next day, somebody else said, "We want to give you bhiksha." In Sanskrit, bhiksha means giving of alms, but its literal meaning is giving a feast. It was customary for the persons who gave the bhiksha to request Bhagavan to go around the hill with them. Bhagavan used to walk slowly, and therefore it took the entire night to go around the hill. Soon people started asking him to stay at the present Ramana ashramam. Once when people had offered bhiksha on 5 consecutive days, Kunjuswamy tried to stop the next person because Bhagavan had already gone for Giri Pradakshina for 5 consecutive nights. Bhagavan looked at him sternly to indicate that he must not tell anyone that he had been without sleep for 5 nights. Finally, when 7 days had passed, Kunjuswamy could bear it no longer. He went to Bhagavan and protested, "Bhagavan, you have not slept at all. Don't you need rest? Why do you prevent me from stopping these people?" Bhagavan looked at him graciously and said, "What is sleep? Sleep is only to give rest to the mind. Only if the mind exists do you need to give it rest. Where is the mind? Of course, I understand that if the eyelids are open for 24 hours at a stretch, they get strained and the eyes will ache. If one remains with eyes closed for some time, this too is taken care of. Therefore, where is the problem?" After Bhagavan came down to Mother's Samadhi, the devotees from town continued to give him bhiksha. Kunjuswamy and Ramakrishna Swami, who were assigned to guard Kanda ashramam, began to wail Bhagavan's long absence. "We came here for Bhagavan, not just to guard a building up on the hill," they thought sullenly. They would therefore sneak down the hill to be with Bhagavan. Noticing this, Bhagavan said one day, "Let us all go around the hill." After going around the hill with Bhagavan, Kunjuswamy and Ramakrishna Swami returned to Kanda ashramam, while Bhagavan and the few others came back to Ramana ashramam. After an hour or so, Kunjuswamy and Ramakrishna Swami came running to Ramana ashramam crying, "Bhagavan, thieves have entered Kanda ashramam and robbed everything. Whatever we left there is all gone." Unruffled, Bhagavan replied, "That's good. Now nobody need guard that building. You can also come and stay here." This is how Ramana ashramam began to develop. It began as a mere thatched shed with a low platform on which Bhagavan would lie. 6 or 7 devotees would lie down near him on mats made of coconut leaves. Kunjuswamy used to say that those were the most magnificent days because they could be close to their Guru, while he shared with them pearls of wisdom all through the night. So folks, let's continue in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupoda.